Rich Tamble, congratulations on being inducted into the California Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. What got you involved in wrestling?
Well, it was a sport that small boys at the time, I was in high school, could participate in. And I was 90 pounds as a sophomore in high school. And the lowest weight they had was 98. I didn't weigh 98 pounds until I was a junior in high school. So I was a natural 98 pounder when I was a junior. Then I bulked up to 106 my senior year. I was always the smallest on the team, but that's what got me interested in wrestling, is that someone small like myself could participate in a sport.
Sure, and wrestling was pretty big in the area you grew up in the South Bay area.
It became big.
It did, yeah. I think you guys were the start of it.
Yes,
in that area.
Great to be.
Did you have any individuals or one individual that had the greatest impact on your wrestling career?
I don't know if there was anyone I really looked up to at the time, because I didn't know anything about it. We didn't have kid wrestling, and they didn't. And the school that I went to was a new school, South High in Torrance. But the coach that I had, Coach Bonheim, within 5 years, we became CIF champions. And the first guy on our team to make it to the CIF championships was Andy Harris. He was a 115 pounder. And I was thinking back then, I wonder if I'll ever get that big. And because he was the first one of our team to make it to the CIF finals. I looked up to him, obviously, and wanted to emulate him in what he did.
And then you continued from high school, though, to wrestle at El Camino and
yes, I continued.
At Adams State.
Yes. I was blessed to be on championship teams. Our high school, like I said, after the first 5 years that we were a high school, we won the CIF championships. And then when we went to El Camino after my senior year, I wrestled for Coach Dave Hangsteller. And I was on the first 2 state championships of his teams. And then when we went to Adams State in Colorado, we became the first national champion, the small college national champions of Adams State. So it was kind of a storybook situation for me to have been surrounded with young men who did well in wrestling, loved wrestling, were disciplined in it, and and you have to follow that example, and the guys that you wrestled with just keep building. We build each other up. Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had a great circumstance too, and
yes.
One of your best friends from high school went to the same junior college and college with you, right? You guys were together all the way through, Bob Anderson?
Yeah, well, there was 11 of us that went from El Camino to Adams State. And Bob Anderson and I were in high school together, and then El Camino, and then Adams State. We both won the Olympic trials together, which was really special because we had been together for so long. We were both each other's best men. And yeah, he's a legend. I remember we're in high school. I'm a 98 pounder. He's like 170 pounds, and he looked like Tarzan. You know, this young guy, 17 years old, and he's built like Tarzan. I'm thinking, I wonder if I could ever be that big. Never did.
Never got that.
Never got that big. That's okay.
Yeah. Throughout your wrestling career, do you have a single moment or single match that stands out the most, that's memorable for you?
I think the most memorable match of my career is the finals for the Olympic trials to make the team. It wasn't just that match though either, because that puts you in the #1 spot at the training center, but you still have to defend your position at the training center. You could lose your position to the second place guy, and so you're not out from under the pressure of staying on the team that you thought you made. And so the match at the training center that determined whether I kept my position became actually more important. Now, once that was explained to me that I could lose the position, and so didn't want to do that, and was thankful that I was able to win both of those.
In wrestling, you go through, tremendous challenges and circumstances, sometimes disappointments. Can you think of one of those and what you did to try to overcome that during your career?
Well, probably my biggest concern or situation that happened to me is that at the Nationals, I pulled my clavicle from my sternum, and it just popped out. And that injury actually, I think, turned into a blessing in disguise, even though at the time I thought this was catastrophic, and it was. Coach kept me out a year. So this happened in '66. I sat out the '67 season, came back in '68, which was the Olympic year. Had I graduated in '67 like I was supposed to, I probably wouldn't have continued wrestling, probably would have gone into coaching and not wrestled any longer competitively. But sitting out the year and coming back for '68, Coach kept me on full scholarship, came back in '68. The season was over in '68 and the Olympic trials started right after that. So I was in condition, ready to go. And so that injury, I think, actually turned out to be my greatest blessing.
Which personal characteristic or trait do you think contributed most to your success in wrestling? We're all different, so different things drive different people. And
I think.
How about you?
I think the biggest trait that I that I feel was discipline for conditioning. I never wanted to run out of gas on the mat. I always wanted to finish stronger than my opponent. And so I always tried to stay in great condition, do the extra time, the extra mile, the extra whatever I felt I needed to be able to do that. And I think that always gave me the extra confidence, knowing that when I got on a mat, no one would outcondition me. Mm-hmm. And I think that was also psychologically big to me.
Yeah, that's a good confidence builder too,
Yes.
when you know you've done the work
Yeah.
and that you don't think anyone's going to tire you out.
Yeah. And one thing about being at Adams State in Colorado, we were 7,500 feet in the air at altitude. And going there from sea level here in California was huge. The first year I was there, I crawled off the mat. It's like, holy moly. But, once we finally got into condition, it helped anywhere we were.
Oh, for sure. What would you like people to remember about Rich Tamble?
That I loved the Lord Jesus Christ, and I'm thankful for my life and the people that He's put in it to help me in this journey of life. I've become a chaplain at LA County Jails. Been doing that for the last 16 years. It's been a blessing. I've actually run into 3 young men who came up to me afterwards and asked me if I taught at Torrance High.
Oh, is that right?
I said, yes, I have. And they said, I was in your class.
Mm-hmm.
So I've met a few young men there and kind of renewed a little bit of acquaintances. So that's been interesting and a blessing also.
Well, congratulations on being inducted in the California Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. It's
You're
my
welcome.
honor. Thank you.